Okay, so finally after some time I'm finally back. I had besides many things to do and I just needed a short break. But tonight I'm coming with something huge. Hello there, I'm Anthony and tonight we'll be finally talking about long-awaited new album of Biesy. So definitely one of my favorite Polish projects. It is run by Patryk Grzutek, so one of the many vocalists of a certain band I am not huge enthusiast of. Obviously I'm in Gruzia. But some of my foreign Poles love this band actually. It is just funny experimental punky black metal, but not for me. So you may naturally ask what the heck has happened that I love Biesy, because it's also experimental black metal. And I would even say that the newest album is the most experimental so far. Generally this project has been undergoing many changes for past few years. For now he's released only 3 albums including the newest one. His first album, entitled Noc Lekkich Obyczajów, released in 2017, is for me a synonym of a little boring Polish urban black metal wave. And indeed I didn't like it. But 3 years later something unexpected happened. He released an album which I consider to be a masterpiece of modern experimental black metal. Trans-Satanism, as it's the name of this album, is the first experimental one. But for me it was straightforward black metal still, but with 2 dominating musical vibes indeed, so black metal and harsh industrial electronics. And I believe that at that time he started doing some drag stylizations and created himself a drag name Faustyna IHS Moreau. Honestly one of the coolest drag names I have ever heard. And I'm not joking. Seeing him in RuPaul's shows would be amazing, but I guess it's not possible, or at least very unlikely. But 4 years later, so now, comes a new album, although Bro told me it has been created for a long time. And this one is indeed much more chaotic and experimental than Trans-Satanism. There are lots of different sound effects and musical vibes hidden here. And sometimes I felt that they don't fit each other, and that's why I had to convince myself to this album for a long time. As I loved Trans-Satanism at first seconds of listening, this time I had to wait for much longer. But you know what? After 5 spins I stated it's another masterpiece. And I have already listened to this album a lot. And I'm still listening as it's great. But now let's show what it sounds like. Very first sounds of this album already make great atmosphere, I would say. Then we receive, I would say, classic experimental black metal stuff, but here it's slower than on Trans-Satanism. And I suggested that the magic of this album is hidden in some unusual sounds. There's literally everything. And at the end of this track is, I would say, Imperial Triumphant style breakdown. Yeah, I love this band, as you might see right now. I even have a mask above me. But the next track is very fast. While the next track puts bigger pressure on catchiness. At the end it gets a little more groovy and even faster. Next track is fully an ambient one and I love it for a little unexpected reason, as it reminds me of certain track from Sir Talok's Ragnarok. So definitely one of my favorite albums this year. But the unexpected thing is that experimental black metal album reminded me of folk black metal album. The next track is a split between Bro and such a Chinese experimental musician Otei Oni. She uses her vocal here in different ways, and I think it nicely fits such an aggressive background. The next track is some kind of noisy ambient, definitely harsher than the previous ambient track. And the next track is more atmospheric. Although it is sometimes more aggressive for a brief few seconds. While the next track has some influences from speedcore, I would say, although I don't know if it's an accurate description. And the two last tracks on this album are the longest ones, and they are not metal. The first one is more focused on lyrical themes. But I really won't be able to describe them in English. I mean, when you read them for the first time, then you think that bro's drunk while writing them. Festival of Avant-Garde, I would say. But I would say the first one of those two is still more speedcore-like. But not harsh, rather atmospheric. And the last one is melodic ambient. With also lots of different sounds. But in order to show them all, I would have to put too many samples. Obviously, I won't be doing it because this video would be too long. But the best things, in my opinion, have already been shown. And yeah, we came to an end. I'm encouraging to listen to the whole album, and thank you all for watching this video. I'm also encouraging to leave a sub if you enjoy what I do here, and thank you all again. See ya soon in my next creations.